Hey everyone, welcome. I'm Naomi and I want to keep this quick because today I want to do a 5-minute body weight strength workout with you. And when it's over, I want to show you how you can progressively add 1 and then 2 weights to the exact same exercises so that you can build strength into your practice if you want to. So do make sure that you have a chair if you need a little bit of balance support, and make sure that you have a set of weights. Now, you want these to be weights that you feel comfortable holding when you are doing lateral lunges and step back lunges. And if you have it available, a wall behind you that you can use if you want. Now, once you get all those things, let's get right into it, and I will see you on the other side. Before we get into the actual 5-minute workout, I do want to show you what we are doing so that it's not confusing when we get started. So we're going to do a lateral lunge into a step back lunge. What that looks like is this. So I'm going to start on the left side of my mat, my feet close together. I'm going to take my right leg, step it out to the right, bend my knee, hinge at my hips. Okay, so my butt goes back, and then push to step my right leg back next to my left. Then I'm going to take that same leg, step it back behind me, tap my knee down, and push back up. And that's one round through, okay? And we're gonna do 6 to 8 of those, all right? Now I wanna show you from the side what that looks like so you have a better idea. Again, my feet are close together. I'm gonna take my right leg, step it out, bend my knee, hinge, so my butt goes back, chest forward, arms with me. I push to step my right leg back in, and then again, I step it back and push back up. Now, if balance is a challenge, you can take a chair. You can put it over to where you are stepping. Okay, I'm still gonna start here. I'm gonna reach for the chair with my right hand because it's my right leg stepping, and I'm gonna step my right leg over. I can put both hands down, push and step back, and again, reach, push and step back. Okay, so that's a good way to help balance yourself. Again, you can start with one hand on, step, push, and come back. So that just might mean you move a little bit more slowly. Once you do that step and push, you are still going back. Okay, so if that means you do it near a wall so that you can, when you step back, have your hand at the wall, just also make sure that there's a wall on the side that is staying forward. Okay, in this case, it'd be the left leg. Okay, now after all of that, I'm gonna get this out of the way. After that, you are doing a plank with shoulder taps, and you're just gonna do this for 30 seconds. Okay, I'm gonna give you 10-second intervals so that you can stop. Okay, after 10 or 20 or 30, we're gonna take a brief rest and then go again, all right? So that's what we're after. I'm gonna start my timer and we're gonna get into it, okay? So here we go. Make sure to start on the left side of your mat. And we're gonna start. So this is 1. This is 2 for me. And you might be moving faster or slower, okay? I'm moving this at the pace that makes the most sense for me. That was 4. That's 5. That's 6. And I'm gonna go for 8, really to fill the time a little bit more. But if you're moving a lot slower than I am, I recommend going for 5 or 6. This is 8. Okay, and then I'm gonna go over to my right side and do the same thing all over. So left leg goes over, push back, left leg back, and then I repeat. Now remember, you don't have to go super far. I shortened it a little bit that time. This is 3. This is 4. And I'm really pushing off of that standing leg. This is 6, I think. 7, or I'm about to do 7. Okay, and then I've got 1 more. And then I'm gonna give myself a few seconds and then go down, and we're gonna start now for those opposite shoulder taps and plank. Okay, if you're just joining me, that's okay. Mostly I'm doing this so you can get a sense of time. That's 10 seconds. Now with these opposite shoulder taps, you wanna make sure that you're not shifting a lot from one side to the other. You wanna try to keep it steady. That's 20. Okay, and that's 30. Then we're gonna come back up, take a 10-second break, which I know is not a lot. And I'm gonna start on the right side this time, and we're just gonna go. So I step over and step back. Again, we're aiming for between 6 and 8. I've picked between 6 and 8 because if you're moving quickly, it's nice and dynamic. God, I stopped counting. Okay. But it also will most likely get you done in about 60 seconds. Okay, so I wasn't really counting on this side, but that's 30. So I'm going to scoot to the other side and start again. And I'm looking at my timer and saying, okay, how much time do I have? Now this is for sure also getting my heart rate up because I'm moving so quickly. For the last set, I'm going to move a lot more slowly so that you can see what this looks like when I move a little bit more slowly. From here, I'm going to go directly into those opposite shoulder taps. Actually, I'm going to start in 5 seconds to give myself a bit of time. So we'll start now. And again, I'm in plank, tapping right hand to left shoulder, left hand to right shoulder, aiming for 30 seconds, but this is 10. That might be enough for you. Okay. Okay, this is 20. And again, I'm trying really hard not to shift, so my feet are as wide as my mat. Hands are as wide as my mat. That means I can stabilize more with my core. And that's 30. Okay, and I'm gonna rest for a few more seconds, not too long. And I'm gonna start on the left side of my mat again, and then we're just gonna go. So this is gonna be slower. I'm not gonna do as many reps, and that's okay. And I'm gonna go slower because this slower pace also prepares you a little bit more for adding weight. So if I was gonna use a block or one weight or two, doing this a little bit more slowly. I'm going to go to the other side now. Doing this a little bit more slowly trains me and prepares me for holding something heavier. And I'll tell you when we've hit 5 minutes. We're almost there. And I'm still aiming for that hinge of my hips. Okay. And we're almost at 5 minutes. I'm going to do one last set of those shoulder taps, starting now. So again, left hand to right shoulder, right hand to left shoulder. I'm going to turn around so you can see that I'm not shifting too much from one arm to the other. So I'm pushing down. That was 10 seconds. Pushing down with my left hand to pick my right hand up. Pushing down with my right hand to lift my left hand up. That's 20. It's hard to do this and speak at the same time. And that's 30. So that's it. That is 5.5 minutes. And if you're done, you're done. And you want to pause the video and say, I did my workout, that's cool, awesome. What I'm going to do now is show you how you can add one weight and then two to up the ante in this, and also to potentially add other exercises, okay? So if I'm gonna do this with one weight, and I'm not gonna go through the whole thing, I'm just gonna demonstrate. So I have one weight and I'm holding it right up in front of my chest. I'm holding on to the bar in between the two bells of your dumbbell, all right? Same thing is gonna be true. I'm gonna step my right leg over, it doesn't have to be super far, bend my knee, hinge at my hip, push back up, and step back in, and then step back into a lunge. Now notice when I step back into the lunge, I'm not leaning forward, I'm trying to stay upright. So it's kind of a tight lunge. You don't have to tap your knee down, you can let it hover, tapping it down. That just gives you a little bit more power. It's a little bit less challenging actually, because if you just hover, it can be really hard to get back up, okay? But you do want that stance to be short and tight. So again, I'm gonna do this lateral lunge to the side, step over, hinge, butt goes back, chest forward, push, and come back up, okay? That's with one weight. And one weight is a really great way to start adding and increasing what you're holding, your capacity, so that you can go up from there, right? So when you start with not using anything, you could even hold on to a block, which weighs almost nothing. You could work with a basketball, all sorts of things if you don't have weights handy. But when you're ready, you can up the ante, add the weight, and then slowly increase. Now, you can also add 2 weights to this. Couple of ways to do this. The easiest I find, I'm going to start from the left, is to have the weights up above your shoulders. Now, that presents other challenges, but it is the most stable way to hold the weights in both poses. So if I step over, same thing, I hinge, push back to center, and then step my leg behind. Okay, so again from the side, step over, hinge, push, back to where I started. Okay? Oh, and then, if I realize I didn't, same thing, step back. And just notice when I step back, I'm not leaning forward, so that's not the hinge. I want to stay more upright and push back up. Now, you could also hold the weights in front of you. Some people will do that with weights. If you're going to do that, it's a little awkward to start, but you would step over. The weights are framing your right leg. You push and bring them back. Same thing, step back. Some people prefer that, and I'm going to set these down. Some people prefer having the weights alongside their body because it's a little bit less work to hold them alongside your body than it is to bring them up above your shoulders. The problem is, I'm going to lift them up again. Okay, the problem is that when I step over to the side, first I kind of have to get the weights to frame my right leg and then take them back, right? Get the weights to frame and then take them back. So it's a little bit more swingy. And the same thing is going to be true when I step my back leg back. The weights kind of act like a pendulum. So when I step back, they just do a little bit more swinging. So even though it's a lot less work to hoist them up than hoisting them up over your shoulders, they do swing a bit more, and that can be precarious. Now, what to do for that second exercise? Well, as you progress, you could do all sorts of things. You could hold a plank, like a side plank here, Vashisthasana. Okay, I don't recommend doing this with weights. This stays body weight, right? You could hold each side for 30 seconds, start with 10, increase to 20, increase to 30. That's progressively building your strength. So that is one way that you could do it. You could also, if you are so yoga inclined, you could do a handstand at the wall, or what I would call like an L handstand at the wall, and hold that for 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Or if you really love handstand and it's part of your practice, you could do a handstand with your legs up the wall, again for 10, 20, 30 seconds, that sort of thing, and build up. Now, if going upside down isn't your bag, you could grab your chair and instead do incline push-ups, right? So elbows out to the side, ribs to the edge of the chair, right? And do 5 to 10 of those. Okay, once you do that, you could start working towards doing them on the floor, right? So once you've done those incline push-ups, oh, my body is tired, right? You could start building up to doing floor push-ups. So those are some ways that you can progress each of the exercises. The lateral lunges by adding 1 hand weight and then potentially 2. And then for the plank, that body weight shoulder tap, you can add a held Vashisthasana, a side plank. You can do that inverted L at the wall or a full handstand. You could do chaturanga, or you could do rather push-ups, incline push-ups on a chair, and then build to floor push-ups. So lots of ways to work with that increased capacity, right? So that you progressively build strength. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat today for that 5-minute body weight workout adventure. I hope that not only did you feel energized by getting your body moving in just 5 minutes, but I also hope that using those progressive building blocks, you can see how you can take those simple exercises and add to them so that you can build strength over time. Now, if you enjoyed doing a 5-minute body weight strength workout and you want other classes like this that are just 5 minutes long that help you get moving every single day, check out the caption below for information about my Daily 5 program. It is 1 month full of 5-minute practices that are not just body weight strength, but also strength training using actual weights, also mobility and yoga flows. So if that sounds appealing to you, definitely take a look at that caption, click on the link, and maybe I will see you in the Daily 5. But for now, thank you for joining me on the mat, and I look forward to seeing you back here again soon. Until then.